Greetings, tax tip lovers, and welcome to this week's top property tax tactics in just 5 minutes. Come, gather round, people, and let me share with you another example of how HMRC's powers have just been increased with retrospective capability again, and how it could affect companies already struggling as a result of the pandemic and where insolvency is a real possibility. HMRC seems to like to portray itself as the doughty defender of social justice rather than the purveyor of regressive laws. And maybe that's made easier in a country that seems to embrace apathy as if it were a virtue. At Rethink.Tax, we champion doing the right thing, but that's a two-way thing. And we believe the tax authority should operate and be seen to operate in the same way. Maybe it's time to take a look at why people and companies need to look at tax optimization. Okay, rant over, let's move on. Here's the issue. From the 1st of December 2020, preferential rights in insolvency, known as Crown Preference, were restored to HMRC, which means that for any insolvency started on or after the 1st of December 2020, HMRC will rank as a preferential creditor for certain taxes. So, what does that mean? Well, prior to the Enterprise Act 2002, HMRC ranked ahead of floating charge holders in respect of unpaid taxes, and EA 2002 removed that status. Right up to the 1st of December 2020, HMRC was an ordinary creditor in a company's insolvency, meaning HMRC ranked alongside all other unsecured creditors and behind floating charge holders. Now, HMRC ranks ahead of floating charge holders and unsecured creditors for priority taxes, which are those collected by companies on behalf of HMRC, which means PAYE, VAT, income tax, and employees' national insurance. The position hasn't changed for taxes which HMRC collects directly, meaning corporation tax and employers' NI. So HMRC remains an ordinary unsecured creditor in respect of those taxes. And here's the thing. There are no transitional arrangements with this new law, which means that HMRC will have preferential status for priority taxes ahead of floating charges created any time before the 1st of December 2020. The new HMRC Crown Preference is not subject to time or financial limits. Now, we're fully behind the principle that taxes should be paid on time and even that the tax authority should have preferential powers. But I leave it to you to form your own views on retrospective powers, which potentially ride roughshod over historical legally binding agreements. It's been said that the tax authority normalizes harmful practices, and this does little to refute that. So, how might this affect property owners? Well, first thing to say is that this is only relevant in the event of insolvency, which in turn might be dependent on what happens to property prices going forward and your levels of debt. Fixed charge holders are not impacted and will continue to rank ahead of preferential creditors, including HMRC. So, if your lender has a fixed charge over the asset, nothing changes. Those with a floating charge over company assets may wish to consider the impact of the reintroduction of Crown Preference and likely should seek proper professional advice and, at very least, undertake a thorough documentation audit. I'm guessing that in future, lenders will want to see evidence that borrowers' priority taxes are in order, and maybe that's your cue to take action. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die because if you do what you always did, you'll get what you always got. And if it is time to take action to sort your property tax planning, then here's how. You can do nothing and stay in the exact same place and pay a shed load of tax unnecessarily, or you can follow the link above for a free Power Hour review with property tax experts who are ex PwC and ex HMRC, and will make your property tax planning like it was our own. Okay, that's it. Keep calm and enjoy 2021. Catch you again for breakfast next week. Ta-ra.